Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's CHANGE.TROYCE and you're watching Choice TV. For today's video, I wanted to get on here and talk about Shera being a witch. Now recently, a Christian blogger and YouTuber and TikToker by the name of Elisha recently posted this TikTok video claiming that Shera is a witch, warning women to stop following her for guidance.
This woman is a witch. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I thought her advice was funny too, until I saw her other account.
Why does everyone think that I'm a witch? Oh yeah, that's right, I did spell on this channel.
The only spell you should have on your man is a binding spell when you first get with him.
You guys, you cannot be following every relationship coach. You need to test everyone by the Spirit. Although many of us Christian women do agree with her in the sense that a man should provide, we shouldn't be with a man just because of his money. We should be with a man because the Lord has approved of him, because he is a man of God, he is a protector, he's a leader, and he's gonna love you. He has a good heart. The Lord can make anyone prosper financially. He is good. And if this man has a heart for the Lord, he will not only prosper financially, but he will prosper spiritually and lead you and your children to do the same.
Now when I saw that video, the first thing I thought to myself is, I thought everybody knew. She's very much self-absorbed. She's very much into herself and she only cares about herself. So a lot of the things that she's done and said have definitely given me witch throughout the past year since she's blown up.
Because think about it, who created religion? An occultist. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And the funny thing is, I'm going to tell y'all, even the religious leaders who represent the actual religion have already figured it out. And they're just profiting off of it at this point. They already know it's a spiritual metaphor. It's this, it's that, it's meant to control. They already know once they get higher up, especially if nobody told them, they figured it out. But they're just going to collect the benefits from it. They're going to collect the money from it. They're going to collect the power from it. Because now they know something that the other people don't know. And so they'll just continue to represent it on a higher level in order to collect the benefits from it. But they don't really believe in this stuff, literally. Okay, because I've actually talked to a lot of high up religious people, and they don't believe in none of that stuff. They just, they'll say, oh well, I know. It's all metaphor. It's all symbolism. It's literally the same thing. I know. But they don't know.
So it wasn't a shock to me when I found out she was a witch. But for those of y'all who do follow her, most of y'all are probably very aware of her spiritual practices and beliefs. And she's done a lot of these things to pretty much benefit her life. And she's also done things such as spellbounding her husband to her.
So you can find some type of spell to do on like that. And ever since I've been doing these bindings, these protections, these do as I say, I do candles, I've had no problems. I have had no problems. Sometimes I'm wondering, dang, he's too good, you know, this is too good, you know. And then I remember why, because I made it that way. I said, you know what, I'm going to make sure I have what I want and that he stays and he does this and he does that and he maintains being a good man, you know. It benefits everybody. It benefits him, it benefits me, it benefits her. It was like, you know, we would have our problems. I would be wondering, you know, this and that. There was always issues about the future planning, financial and all this kind of stuff. And he didn't like to talk about this. He didn't like to talk about that. So I did my spells. I did my bindings. I did my protection. I did my do as I say. And I have never had a problem since. And I didn't confront him about any of it. I just did the spells, put them in the freezer, and just waited. And now I get flowers every week. We do things as a family every week. We have the insurance. We have the savings going. We talk about all the issues financially. We do budgets together. We have, you know, everything turned 180 degrees and I got exactly what I wanted.
Now, she has done a lot of stuff like this throughout the past couple of years. And if y'all didn't know, she's been famous for like at least a decade. This YouTube shit is not new to her. She didn't come out recently. She's not new to the scene. She's been on YouTube for at least over 10 years. She's famously worked with a lot of entities like Urzuli and Oshun, and many more. And a lot of these entities have poured into her and helped her life progress. Shera 7 is constantly being introduced to a new audience because her videos are constantly being reposted on TikTok. And a lot of her videos, although are very helpful to women finding their ideal partner and finding their ideal provider, a lot of her clips that have gone viral are clips of her, you know, making altars, chanting spells, and participating in divination. And she has stirred a lot of controversy amongst a lot of people on TikTok who are very skeptical of her beliefs ever since these videos have been going viral on TikTok.
For example, everyone knows that I work with Erzuli Frida.
Oftentimes when people practice Ifa, Leukemi, Voodoo, Santeria, or Hoodoo, a lot of times they seek these entities and these deities to pour into them.
You guys do know that the Sprinkle Sprinkle lady is a witch, right? Like, she is a full-blown witch who practices witchcraft. I am not slandering her. She is literally a witch. So yeah, this is her other YouTube channel called Ashira Goddess, where she talks about doing witchcraft. So yeah, I just thought that I would give you guys that information, just to be careful for whatever she is sprinkling on you. Now, if you are okay with her being a witch, that is your business. But if you're not okay with her being a witch, then I recommend that you stop listening to her. Pronto.
Shera 7 is grilled for being a witch, and to be honest with you, I'm not mad at her for being a witch, but I do feel like when people call her out for being a witch, I get why. I'm not a religious person in no way, but Shera 7 has definitely made it very clear that she's not subscribed to the ideology of what God and religion is, because she does feel like it's a cult meant to control other people.
Never have I seen the devil busy in the world. Never have I seen the devil rob a convenience store. Never have I seen the devil on the news being arrested for murder. Never have I seen the devil make someone do something. But I have seen a man, I have seen a woman rob, kill, steal, get arrested. I have seen all of that. So I have to say, why are people blaming everything on the devil? I wonder. Maybe because they don't want to take responsibility. So stop using God, stop blaming the devil, and do something for yourself.
My mom would force me to go to church. She gave me a Bible, and I would just write what I wanted in the Bible, baby. I would take my pen or my highlighter, and I'd be writing up in there lyrics to songs or whatever, drawing in it. I didn't care. I know some people, oh my God, that's so bad. You know what? So it's forcing a kid to do something they don't want to do. That's bad too. So, forcing a kid to accept some type of religious belief before they can even think for themselves or before their brain is fully developed, that's a no-no. And also, if they never asked for it, the kids don't want to go to no church.
Because although she has a big platform, people love her for her charismatic attitude and her personality and her being relentless about her goals.
So get them to spend. That's the easiest way to keep a man in your life, getting them to spend money. Okay. And a lot of it, not just no chump change dinners at a restaurant. I'm talking about jewelry, clothes, shopping, bills, all those sort of things. So make them invest in you. If they're not investing in you,
are you willing to do some of the things that she's done in order to get what the fuck she has? I mean, she looks like she's living a lit life as a solo entrepreneur and is able to do whatever she wants because she has a man that allegedly provides for her and does whatever she says. But what's interesting is, have y'all ever thought for a second that maybe you might have to do a couple thing or two here and there to get what she has? Because if she has an attitude where she's relentless about her goals and is able to get what she wants, why did she have to do a binding spell? Why does she have to cast any incantations? And why does she have to chant things and light candles to get her man to do what she wants?
Someone asking if my husband ever cheated. No, ma'am, he's never cheated me out of any money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right, then. Hope that answers your question. I've never been cheated out of any money. People are asking me dumb questions. What will I do if my husband cheat? Nothing. I don't care. That's the difference between me and some people. I really wouldn't care what they're doing. I would do the same thing I tell y'all to do. Get more money. Once you get to the bag, once you're a certain age, you don't care about that stuff. Okay, I live for my kids. But I don't live for no man, darling. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So what about STDs? Girl, take them to the vet or don't do nothing with them. Y'all are stupid out here. I don't know what to tell you. Some of y'all live in different countries where laws are different. In America, you ain't got to touch nobody, even if you're married to them. You don't got to do nothing if you don't want to. I don't know where y'all live, but in America, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to roll around on a mattress with nobody if you don't want to.
If she's so all-powerful, why must she use her hocus pocus to be all about the bag and keep that man giving and providing to her? Why can't she just simply exist? If she's so all-powerful and she's such a baddie with baddie energy, why can't she keep that man from cheating on her? It's just little things like that I kind of question that makes me, want people to go deeper and think to myself, you could listen to some of her advice about getting what you want out of life. You could listen to a lot of the things that she tells you to do about how to attract someone that will provide and will honor and will give to you. But I think the truth stands where if somebody really fucks with you and is invested into you, they'll help you regardless of what you do. I mean, she gives you guys realistic advice about being relentless about your goals and pouring into yourself, but many people aspire to have what she has. You're going to have to do what she did to get what she can.
Everything that I threw in there. And it's all going to burn, go into the ether, into the darkness, into the spaces in the dark universe, dark energy into the dark matter.
And she's made it seem like she's living a very happy and blissful and peaceful life. I'm not mad at Shera for her teachings and her beliefs. I'm not mad at her for being selfish. I'm not mad at her for dibbling and dabbling in the metaphysical world. She's just doing whatever works for her, and she knows how the world works. The world is very cold and selfish, and a lot of people are very evil and self-centered and only care about what benefits them at the time. A lot of times you may have an aunt or a grandma or a relative or a friend that's dating for money, but how often are they getting their shit rocked every other week? Just for the sole purpose of, well, at least he's paying the bills. You know what I mean? I get a broke man could do the same thing, but is it really worth it in the long haul? Shera 7 has a mentality that a lot of women have who have been brokenhearted, and she kind of has a mentality, as it seems, that she believes in the idea that all men are the same, they all cheat, they're all this, when none of that stuff is always the case or true. Realistically, everybody is different, and it all just depends on where you live, who you are, and who you're dating, and what their religious beliefs and values are. Do a lot of men cheat? Probably. Do most of them cheat? Maybe. Are most men going to pour into you if you're mean to them? Sometimes, but it just depends on the person. And to be honest, Shera 7 is a woman who's clearly lived her life enough to obviously give guidance. So I can't fault her for that, and I can't fault a lot of women because women have claimed that she's helped them. But then there's other people that don't get as much backlash as she did. There's some people who do this kind of witchcraft and spell work and so much more, and nobody really talks about it as much. Let's talk about Megan Fox. Do y'all remember when Megan Fox came out a couple years ago when she was dating MGK, and she said that MGK and her literally were bonded by blood? She literally said that she literally manifested MGK when she was a little girl. And mind you, she's much older than him.
To just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you. It doesn't not happen, let me tell you. Maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times.
And it's not just Megan Fox who's into that kind of stuff, it's other people as well. Look at Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey put out a tweet a couple years ago saying that she wanted to spellbind and definitely do a binding spell on Trump so that Trump wouldn't do any more wrong. And for some reason, she didn't get as much backlash because it was against Donald Trump. Religion doesn't always seem to benefit many people because for some people, religion was something that they were taught because they felt like that was the right thing to do. In Shera's perspective, she has said in numerous videos that being a witch has benefited her more than modern day religion that was forced down her actual throat.
Religious people look at people that have mastered self and they worship them instead of becoming them. They look for saviors instead of becoming one or saving themselves. That's it. They play the victim because they can't get up. They can't get up. They need help. They need help. Or they've been told that they need help, so they can never rise to self-mastery. Because when you rise to self-mastery, you know when to apply things, when not to, when to listen, when not to.
Now, what's weird is these deities and entities that she's worked with have probably played a very big role on why she's so pushed down our throats and why you see her everywhere you go. When you scroll through TikTok, when you scroll through social media, and when you hear the term sprinkle, sprinkle. Now, Shera 7 has been involved with recruiting a lot of people into her practices and giving them guidance. She even does like private consultations where she does spiritual advisory and she offers people spiritual guidance through her platform.
You said no one's asking me to change. Just don't teach people witchcraft. Go get your own money. Okay, well, people ask me to teach them. And that's what I've been doing for 10 plus years. So I can do what I want. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Last time I checked, I was free.
And what's even more interesting is Shera 7 has probably even inducted plenty of people into her practices. So these entities and these spirits and these deities that you work with, sometimes it kind of works like this. So a lot of times when you bring people into these deities get more reach. They have more strong of a pull. They have more access and their presence becomes stronger. And sometimes when you bring people to them, they eventually lit you up and they pour way more into you than they ever did. Like a good example is I have a cousin who I haven't spoken to in like over 10 years because that bitch is crazy. And I have a cousin who basically was a mambo. So one of my relatives is a mambo, which is a high voodoo priestess. She has done a lot of shit to people who have pissed her off. If you've messed around with her, disrespected her kids, disrespected her livelihood, try to fuck with her money and her peace, she will definitely send one of these entities out to get you because she has a very good relationship with them because of the people that she's inducted into her beliefs and because of the fact that she's built a relationship with them throughout the years. So that's why she's been inducted to be a mambo. And she's been that for years. This is nothing new. So that's kind of how a lot of these practices work, where sometimes people have good intentions and sometimes you can have these entities and these spirits on your side. And it's not always evil. It's just you kind of got to be careful who you're being led by. Like, she's one of those people, Shera 7 to be exact, she's one of those people who care about her own self-interest. So she's building a massive following and a massive brand, but I do sometimes look at the things she says and I think to myself, she's too high on the pedestal, eventually things are going to come crashing down. She recently got featured on Lizzo's new song. I'm seeing this girl's face on magazine campaigns and working with big brands, and I could think to myself for a second, she did all this saint collaboration. She worked with these deities. She did a lot of these attraction spells on her YouTube channel. It's a matter of time before everything comes crashing down, only because she one time said in one of her videos, if not in many videos, that she does not believe karma is a real thing.
I don't believe in karma. Karma is a choice. You either feel guilty or you don't. And I don't. So I don't attract anything. I don't attract a punishment for any type of guilt because I don't feel guilty about it. It's just the choice that I make. It's a well-calculated decision that I thought about, planned, and logically came up with to execute. So I don't feel guilty about it. It's premeditated. When you premeditate something, you don't feel guilty about it because you're planning it. This is what you're doing. You're taking steps towards it because you understand the outcome and the effects that you're going to get. And it's positive. So you only see things as positive. And it's actually up to that man to do whatever you need to do. If you take things from him, if you do things from them, you are his karma. Okay? You become his karma. Because if he used and abused you and dumped you, and you choose to take action against that by getting revenge, you became his karma. All the bad people still alive, walking around looking cute. How about that for karma? Okay, all the good people that, don't do that, they still broke and going to work, clocking in every day. So I'll have fun with that one.
Not acknowledging it doesn't mean that it won't eventually happen. Karma is literally tied to cause and effect. So she kind of scares me when she says that, just like other people who say the same thing she does. But that's that for this video. I hope everyone was able to see where I'm coming from and resonate with my message. And yeah, that's that. Troyce out this bitch. Why can't we? Why do we? Why can't we fall in love?